As the Walt Disney Company gears up for what is supposed to be the biggest D23 in years, Disneyland is gearing down by closing 6 to 8 major attractions. Let's talk about what's in store for Disney's biggest fans here on That Park Place. Hello, I am Jonas J. Campbell, an investigative reporter for That Park Place, and here with me is West Coast theme park guru, Mr. VashSky. Vash, I couldn't believe this when you told me what was going on over there at Disney over the next few months.
Oh man, is it bad? I will say this has got me very surprised because, well, it really honestly shouldn't be happening. Let's go ahead and share my screen right here. This is when it really kind of popped up on my radar and said, oh, wait a minute, something is definitely off here. So Scott Gooston here, new Space Mountain at Disneyland Park will close for refurbishment on August 5th. The closure is expected to last about a month while Disney updates the lighting throughout the ride, including in the attraction's tunnel. Work will also be done to flooring inside the attraction. Now, what's most interesting here is that August 5th, well, only a couple days later, on August 9th, that's the kickoff to the D23 Expo, or now it's called, I think, the D23 Ultimate Fan Event. I still say Expo. People refer to it as the Expo. It's the Expo in my mind, but that is the technical name for it. Now, again, one attraction being down doesn't sound like a bad deal. It sounds okay, but this is on top of all of the refurbishments currently going on. So if you look right here, this is from Mouse Planet, going back to their June 24th update, which nicely lists them all out right here for everybody to enjoy. You can see the list of refurbishments that, or attraction closures that were on this list before Space Mountain was added to it. So you have the Disneyland Story Presents Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln. That is down. No opening date for that one. The Mini Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, Davy Crockett's Explorer Canoes, the Hungry Bear Restaurant, which I know is an attraction, but still an eatery that's not available. The Critter Country Ranch and Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Also, Splash Mountain. All of these things are associated with Tiana's Bayou Adventure. That whole half of the park is down. And you add in the Launch Bay, you add in Magic Eye Theater, now Splash Mountain, and the Haunted Mansion. Jonas. I mean, significant portions of this park are down when everybody around the world is going to be coming to Anaheim to take advantage of the expo.
This is so fascinating to me because there's $30 billion of that quoted $60 billion that are supposedly being used to renovate the parks here. The turbocharging with the $60 billion, $30 billion of that is going to be divided up between the remaining 10 parks for tech and maintenance. I wonder how much of this is specifically tech and maintenance here. Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln. We're hearing rumors that, should I spoil it here? They're talking about adding a Walt animatronic to that. And that's a good upgrade. I'm not going to lie. That's a good upgrade, depending on how you think about the current Walt Disney Company making an animatronic of Walt and putting that in the park. Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. That is a classic attraction. Haunted Mansion, that's going down, and what's the best way to put that? They're talking about doing a virtual queue, but for Haunted Mansion Holiday, and that's going to be later this year. So that's down. Splash Mountain, obviously closed for renovations, but Space Mountain, I can't even imagine a Disney park that doesn't have a Space Mountain. I don't understand why they planned all of this for one time, unless they want to officially state that this is a down year, like this is our pardon our dust, our pixie dust year, to say we're getting ready for the next one. But maybe this is all the buildup that maybe should have been done. And whatever happened in 2020 when those parks were down, I know that they weren't sure where the money was going to be coming back in, but why didn't they do a lot of these repairs when the park was finally down? And now we have one of the biggest events of the year, and they are promising that this is going to be a D23 event like no other, because they want to get people into the park. But all of the people who are showing up to this D23 event, are they just hoping that they aren't caring about their next Disneyland trip? Are they not wanting them to go into the parks and enjoy everything there? Are these people who, I'm going to say it, are probably vloggers? Do they want them going to the park and seeing so much of it shut down? I don't get it. Just like so many things that are going on right now with the Walt Disney Company, I don't get the communication strategy here.
Yeah, it's not a good look for them at all. I think I think there are bigger issues at stake here. Usually, the Disneyland Resort, Team Disney Anaheim, the managers of the property, go through a kind of formula or algorithm to see how much capacity that they actively have, how much they actively need based on projections, and how many attractions they can afford to lose for refurbishment. And I think there's a couple of things being caught up here. First of all, it's during a time when, at least August, that is, and July, when annual pass holders are beginning to be blocked out in large swaths, they might feel that, okay, well, demand has necessarily gone down. We know that that summer ticket offer that was just activated, that summer ticket offer was activated for a reason, right? They obviously are seeing or forecasting that there will be some softness in terms of attendance from all around. That's why they reduced the price in that instance in order to get people to come in. That's kind of the price elasticity thing that we talk about. Okay, so if there's going to be softness anyway from the tourist standpoint and from the annual pass holder standpoint because they're blocked out, maybe then they can justify having this many attractions down because, well, the very busy fall and especially winter season is coming right up. Unfortunately for people at D23, well, they're left out in the cold, so to speak. But in preparation for those busy seasons, maybe they want to split the load between this period of time in 2024 and early spring in 2025 when they normally conduct refurbishments and so forth. So I think that's kind of the mentality there. Also, too, we're getting word that there's been a project on the list for quite some time, Tomorrowland at Disneyland, that might be getting approved and announced at D23. And if that's the case, then obviously you're going to take down a significant portion of inventory in terms of capacity at that theme park. So TDA might be one to get ahead of that whole curve, and that's why D23 attendees have to suffer in this case. It is just a mess. And you talked about how the park was down for 412 days. Why didn't they do actual maintenance? Well, they didn't do any maintenance or any construction whatsoever versus Universal. They really turned it into overdrive when these closures were actually in effect in 2020 and so forth. So again, this is two different philosophies, two different mindsets. You can obviously see where the shortcomings are in this particular mindset associated with Disney. Also, too, they've been deferring maintenance at the Disneyland Resort for a long time. That's why you have to have an attraction like Space Mountain down for floors and lights. It's just ridiculous, Jonas.
I'm going to throw this in here as well. When we talk about the D23 guests, these are not people that just show up and they're like the $50 ticket people. Oh, I'm getting in for to quote Jurassic Park, for coupon day. Let's just go take a look and you tell me who would be predisposed to buy all kinds of merch if they show up to your theme park here. This is the ticket pricing here. Scott Guston, here's a detailed breakdown of the pricing for tickets to D23, the ultimate Disney fan event. There should be a little trademark symbol up there, including the different pricing tiers within each ticket option. The minimum for one day is $100 to get into this event. And up here on the high end, $2,600 for the 3-day pass on the 100 level. And this is so you can get in and you can buy merch and you can buy things like that. So these are people who are highly predisposed to buy all kinds of merch, to do all kinds of events, and to, I'm going to say, pay way more than they should in order to do dining at the park. How is Fantasmic doing over there? Is it still at the C mode right now?
Fortunately, it was reported that B mode has returned. B mode, C mode, to illustrate for audiences listening. This is with, obviously the Dragon Murphy. She burned down last year, so now they've had to have a B mode in place for the finale segment, which is basically Maleficent being lifted up on a platform. Well, even that didn't work for 3 days here, so she was just on the ground, just waving her wand there. That didn't go very well, as one could imagine right there. Again, maintenance issues and so forth. They rear their ugly head at times when you don't want them to. That's what's going on there. Look, these are your most loyal fans. To have 6 to 8 attractions down, to have a cutback in entertainment, Jonas, that's the other thing too. It is just an absolute disaster.
That's the other thing that we haven't talked about is like Rogers the Musical, that's gone. Obviously, that was not a long time event there. Doctor Strange going away. The Wakanda show that was frequently in the Avengers campus. A lot of these things, entertainment offerings, are being reduced at the parks. I hope that what we're seeing is a temporary situation so that they can transform these parks into something better, so that they're actually turbocharging. But right now, I'm seeing so much about what they're doing that seems to be reducing the quality into the parks so that they can maximize their ticket price and maximize the margin that they take home from the parks at this point. We want to throw this to our commenters down below. Do you believe this is a fully temporary situation for the Walt Disney Company? Obviously, the repairs are supposed to be temporary. I don't think anything's shutting down forever, except for Splash Mountain. Obviously, my condolences out there to anyone who's still holding on to hope for that. That's not coming back at Disneyland, at least not under the current regime. Do you think that this is something where Disney is trying to improve the parks and actually improve the parks? Or do you think that this is just par for the course from here on out? Is it lowering the quality in order to get as much as they can out of the longtime fans who just keep paying and paying and paying? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Of course, if you could, consider subscribing to That Park Place for all the news that should be fun.
Thanks for watching That Park Place News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.